Hello folks, this is Sheila E. from Tennessee. I'm going to show you how to do a pecan pie. It's a Georgia pecan pie and a chocolate. What the difference is between a chocolate Georgia pecan pie. This is the way I do them. Now I don't know if this is exactly the way everybody else does it, but I buy these pans. These are a big 10-inch deep pie pan. You can get these at Dollar Tree. And I bought the Food Club pie crust. Down here where you can see. So I'm going to try to take each one of them, unroll it, and you got to be a little bit gentle. Then I'm just going to put it lay it over top of these pie pans and let it soften up just a little bit. I've got my oven preheated. Hope you all can see, to 375. But once I put my pies in there, I'm going to cut it down to about 350 and extend the time on it. On these pie shells, you want to stretch them to where you get some upper layer. And you just take your hands and you stretch them. You get this upper part of this pie shell. And it sort of makes like a little wavy place. So, and another thing, when I get these, put these in a pan, I'm going to put a pan underneath them or some aluminum foil or something, because sometimes they tend to boil over. And then I'm going to put some aluminum foil around the edges of these. You know, there's a different look to a homemade pie and a store-bought pie, or even like if you go to a fancy place and they've got pies, they're professionals. This is not professional. This is southern home cooking. So you just take these and you try to pinch them up just a little bit, and if they had a crack in them, that's okay. And these you can freeze. You can freeze these up to 3 months. So always, if you're going to freeze them, he might have to wait just a minute. See if he has to go to his playpen. All right, so anyway, we've got that one. I'll go ahead and do this one. And I already sprayed, no, did I spray it? Yeah, I sprayed this one and I rubbed it around just a little bit. I believe I did, yeah, with Baker's Joey. And it's just a little tiny bit, not a whole lot, just enough to keep your pie crust from sticking. Also, I'm going to do 2 homemade pumpkin pies. I don't know if I'll use this crust. I've got some laying there, it's frozen. Or if I've got some deep pie shells in the freezer that I can get out and do them too. So you see, as I'm stretching this pie shell, like I said, one of these are going to be just a pecan, or a pecan, and one's going to be a chocolate pecan or pecan. So you just keep working that dough, and you start pinching it. Now, like I said, you'll put some aluminum foil over the edge of this to keep it from burning. We got them ready. So in one of these bowls, I'm going to add, it says 1 cup of white sugar, but in my pecan pies, I add a half a cup of white sugar and a half a cup of brown sugar. And that's how I make that my own, because nobody else that I know of puts brown sugar in their pecan pies. but it just gives them a richer flavor. There's a half a cup of white sugar, and then we're going to do a half a cup of brown sugar, and that's going to be a all right, it's just loosely, it's not packed. All right, so there we got that. And this is going to be the regular pecan. On the other one, this is the regular pecan. On the chocolate pecan, we're only going to use white sugar. So it'll be a cup. So there's a half a cup and another half a cup. So just a little bit more. So I can get that out of the way. Okay, so then the next thing that we'll do, let me get some of this, I don't want the sugar all on the floor. Is, what was that? Is that Tippy? Did he?
Bowl, that bowl.
Yeah, but that,
It was the bowl.
where's that? Okay, all right. Bo just decides to make a sound over here. All right, so we've got a half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of white sugar. We have we got a whole cup of white sugar for the chocolate pecan. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a half a cup of white Karo corn syrup. This is some that I had left over. I've got another bottle, but I wanted to use this one first, and I probably won't have to open that other bottle. I usually use it to make the potato candy. So this is a half a cup. So we're going to do a half a cup in each bowl. Let me get a spoon to get all that out there. The reason I put my oven on 375 is to get it good and hot. Now that's what my recipe in one of my old recipe books says to bake it on. But my oven's a convect oven, so it bakes a little bit harder and faster. So I'm going to turn it down to 350, and if I have to let it bake longer, I will. So I'm trying to get you to where you can see what I'm doing. So what I'm doing, I just laid that down in that sugar, and I'm trying to get a good half of cup. It's down in here of Karo syrup, and this is going to go in my chocolate pecan or pecan. Trying to get all that out of that bottle. I might turn that upside down, let it see if I can get any more out of it. So I'm going to put that over here. Okay, so this is our, like I said, our chocolate pecan bowl. It has a cup of white sugar, a half a cup of Karo syrup. Now, we're going to do a fourth of a cup of margarine or butter, whichever you prefer. I've already got it melted, and it says a fourth of a cup. Fourth of a cup. So here's a, no, that's a third. So here's a fourth of a cup. So we're going to put a fourth of a cup in that bowl, and a fourth of a cup in this other bowl. Just a little bit more. All right. Okay, so we've got a cup of sugar in here, a half a cup of white Karo syrup. We have a fourth of a cup of melted butter in each one. Now we're going to do the eggs, and you know I like egg beaters, especially when I'm baking. There's a little white thing in an egg, and if you don't get that out of there when you're baking a pie, it will not bake up and it will not beat up. So I don't want to see that. So I use egg beaters to be on the safe side. So it says 3 eggs well beaten. So we're going to do, usually 3/4 of a cup is around 3 to 4 eggs. So here's a half a cup, and then we're going to do just another, we're going to do a fourth of a cup, And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Okay, just a dab more in that one. I used to buy my pumpkin pies, but I do like the homemade pumpkin pies just a little bit more. So we got a half a cup of white sugar, a half a cup of brown sugar. We have a half a cup of Karo syrup, white Karo syrup. We have a fourth of a cup of butter. We have 3 eggs well beaten, or 3/4 cup of egg beaters. It says 1 9-inch pie shell, but I've got these big deep pie shells, so it may not fill them plumb up. I may have to do a little bit more. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So then it says 1 cup of pecans. So what I'm going to do is I've got some crushed pecans, like chopped. They're just like chopped in half. And that's what I'm going to use. So there was 1 cup in that. And then we're going to do 1 cup in this other one. I'm going to double this recipe because when I look at this pie shell and I look at my ingredients, it's telling me that don't look like that's enough. So we're going to add a little bit more. We're going to add another 3/4 cup of egg beaters. I'm going to add half a cup Karo syrup, and I'll probably do that chocolate pecan one like that too, because that just don't look like enough stuff to me to fill that big. This is a deep 10-inch pie shell pie pan that I buy, and they make extra, but they're deep. So we've got egg beaters, we've got Karo syrup. I'm going to go ahead and put another cup of sugar in each one. If I can find my cup. Oh, right here it is. So really what I'm doing, guys, is I'm just doubling the recipe on this. Now, if you want to do just a regular pie shell, you can. I need to just do like half and then half of brown sugar on that one. Okay, and then we're going to do a half of brown sugar. And it don't matter if it's dark brown sugar or light brown sugar. I didn't realize it till I started looking at the amount of mixture I had, and then I looked over at my pie shell and I'm thinking that's just not enough. So there's a half of white sugar and a half of brown sugar. Sorry about the noise, I'm just knocking everything over, seems like. I worked today, so I'm a little bit tired. So we're going to do some more egg beaters too. Oh, I done put the eggs in that one. Pretty sure I did. Egg beaters in the, okay. So that was the syrup and the egg beaters and the sugar. And I'll probably need some more melted butter. So I'm going to go ahead and do this another stick of melted butter. Now regular pie shell, that would have probably been plenty. I mean, you know, just like the regular pie shells that you buy frozen, that would have been plenty. But for these pie shells, it just don't look like it's enough to me. So what we're actually doing is just doubling the recipe. And I'll have to get another thing of egg beaters here in just a few. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, because that's all of that one. I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, I'm sorry I slipped away there and got some egg beaters. I didn't have enough for my other pie. I think I did put it in my other one though. So anyway, the margarine, I need to go ahead and add another 1/4 of a cup of margarine to this one, because I know we're just doubling everything. So it's a 1/4 of a cup of margarine. All right. So, all right, that really what we've got is a cup of white sugar, a cup of brown sugar. We've got a cup of Karo syrup in there. Yes. And then we've got a 1/2 cup of melted butter. And then we got probably about 5 or 6 eggs, or probably a 1.5 cups of egg beaters. And then we put 1 cup of pecans, and that was the chopped pecans. So I've got these other ones, which are whole ones. So I'm going to try to put a cup of these in here too. And I'm just going to wait and do that other pie. I don't want to get mixed up on it. So now we look like we've got enough to fill that pie shell. And you just absolutely just stir it up. I'm going to put a little bit of vanilla flavoring in that. Well, if I can reach it. So what I'm going to do is just take a lead foil, probably about 2 lead foils, and put in here. Now this is going to be your regular chocolate, or regular pecan pie. And you want to mix it up really, really good. There's a pecan. Hope you like my videos. I hope you share them and subscribe. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to get a pan, or put some aluminum foil probably over this eye, and then over this bottom of this, over my oven rack. See what I'm doing. I don't want that spilled all over my oven. So I'm just laying it on the rack. And I'm taking my pie shell. You remember we done that pie shell. And I'm just going to pour this in here. See, that would have took all that. That other would have not been enough. So if you do this recipe, I can give you the recipe. And then if you get a big pie shell, you want to double the recipe like I did. Because this is a big pie shell. It's a 10-inch deep. And this is the Food Club rolled out pie pastry, pie dough. I'll show you that again. This has 2 in them. And I got these pie pans at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to put a little bit of aluminum foil over that. And you want enough to sort of go under it a little bit. It keeps your pie shell, your pie edges from burning. So that's the first one. Now we're going to double up on this one. We're going to do a half a cup of Karo syrup. This is going to be your chocolate pecan pie. And this is all I'm doing is just doubling the recipe. 1/4 of a cup of melted butter. We're going to do 3/4 cup of egg beaters. So this is a half a cup. And then just a little bit more. Or you're going to do about 5 eggs, whichever one you want. I usually, if I do eggs, I do the just the egg yolks. Don't put the white in it. Okay, well I can't find the lid for that, but that's okay. Anyway, we've got, and then I need to do another cup of sugar. I'll get it in a minute. So this is the chocolate one. So I'm not putting the brown sugar. It's going to be 1 cup of white sugar because you don't want that brown sugar taste in with your chocolate chips. So you put chocolate chips in this one. So we need to add another cup of pecans and then we'll be done, except for our chocolate chips, and that's what makes it a chocolate pecan pie. So we already put 1 cup of these in there. And I'm going to put just a few of these in there. Okay, so like I said, you can tell when you've got your pie shell out there. If it's a regular pie shell, you're just going to go to the regular recipe and I'll give you that. I think I might already have it on there. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cupful of these semi-sweet, might as well just put all this that bag in there, semi-sweet chocolate chips. So it's about a cup and 1/4. It wasn't a half. And then we'll have this in the oven. And like I said, I'm going to cut that oven down from 375 to 350. And it says to bake, I want to say, it says to bake it for 375 for 40 to 45 minutes. We're probably going to bake this about 1 hour at 300. Just make sure you get it all stirred up. And we'll get some more aluminum foil and put around the edges of that pie. And that's sort of hard to do, it really is, but it's really, it keeps your pie, your edges from burning. You can sort of get it around there just loosely. Now I'm sure you can use cocoa for your chocolate pecan pie, but this is just the way I do mine. I find it a lot easier. You could probably use one this size, you could probably use about 3 tablespoons. I'm going to take a little bit. Maybe it's just because of that right there. Yeah. Alright, so then I'm going to try to put some aluminum foil around that. Get some of my mess cleaned up here. Really pulled out too much that last round. So you just try to go underneath a little and then mash it down. And it don't want to stay, believe me, it don't. So you just have to work with it. And this is a big long aluminum foil, the heavy duty. So I'm going to try to get this one in there without spilling it. So you can see they're in there. And now I'm going to cut it down to 300, and I'm going to start it out for an hour. So we're going to cut it down to 300, and we're going to put a timer on it for an hour. All right, so I'll see you soon, just as soon as it comes out the oven. Okay, Sheila E. from Tennessee. Okay guys, I'm back. Those pies are still in the oven. I did turn them to 325, and I have right now baked them for about 45 minutes. It's got 8 minutes left on there. I'm going to show you another recipe if I can get everything together, and this is one I just sort of made up. I guess people's made it, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's fine. So anyway, you take your Oreos, and wash my hands. You take your regular Oreos, not the double stuffed, not the thin. Okay, so here's what you gotta have. You gotta have Oreos, Cool Whip. Don't matter what kind. Let me get you around here. Cool Whip, Oreos, regular kind, and chocolate jello pudding, or you can make your own pudding like you would if you was going to do a chocolate pie. So anyway, what you want to do, it's sort of like a Oreo lasagna. So you layer your Oreos in the bottom of the pan. This would be something we'd have for Thanksgiving or Christmas, but they took a yearning for it, so I guess it'll be an early Thanksgiving because it'll be gone by the time Thanksgiving gets here. Alright, so we've got, and try to layer them pretty good because that way, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I've got that right there. I'm going to put that to the side. We're going to take a thing of this chocolate pudding mix, and we're going to start out with, it's 2 cups per box for the big box, and we're probably going to add a little bit more than 2 cups. I'm going to put 2 boxes in it. I want it, so we're going to put about 3 per box because I want it a little bit runny. Okay, so that was 3 for 1 box. It's going to be 2 more because I got 2 boxes of Jello instant chocolate pudding. There's 2 more, and then I'm going to put 1 more. How's that? All right, because that stuff will thicken up as it gets cold. So now we're going to put the chocolate pudding in there. The chocolate pudding. This, we're putting that in there. We have approximately 6 cups of 2% milk. You can put whole milk if you want to. I don't know how it would, I know it wouldn't be good with skim milk. I don't know how it would turn out with 1% milk. So we use 2% milk most of the time. So that's what I'm using. So 2 boxes of Jello instant chocolate pudding. Now the last time I made this, it was a big hit, so we'll see. So this would be a quick, easy, semi-made, not from scratch, semi-made, very decadent recipe for your desserts, and it will feed a lot of people. So again, I'll stir this up a little because I don't want powder blowed all over my kitchen. So I'm going to turn it on low speed. And my low speed on my mixer, it seems like it's pretty fast. It's not really low. Knock some of that down off the side. Like I said, all my cooking is not from scratch. Some of it is, and some of it's semi-scratch, and some of it's just shortcuts. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a ladle, and we're going to start ladling this over these cookies. So this is all you do. And you want to get your cookies wet. So then we're going to take, let me wipe that chocolate off of there. We're going to take a container of Cool Whip. I've got 2 containers. It may take both of them. I'm fighting with this thing around the Cool Whip, guys. Okay. We're going to take this Cool Whip and we're going to do a layer of it. I hope y'all can see this, what I'm doing here. And you just want to dollop here and there. Make sure your Cool Whip is not frozen. Make sure you want to get it fresh. Or if it's frozen, then you can leave it out in the refrigerator all day. You just smooth it around. Get some of this stuff out of my way here. And it won't matter if you get a little bit of the chocolate on it. And you want to get it on the side so they can see it. You know, if it's eye peeling, then it's, you know, that's the first thing of having something that tastes good, because you're expecting it to be good because it looks so good. All right. Now we've got this. Now what I'm going to do, let me move this out of the way. I've got a bag of Hershey's milk chocolate chips. So this is just going to make it just a little bit more decadent, okay? So we're just going to sprinkle a few chips. Say hi to all my new viewers and all my friends on there. So now it's time to layer another layer. I bet this would be good with the chocolate ones too, the chocolate Oreos. So we're going to take another ladle. Now this has got a little bit thick on me, guys. See here? Look how thick it's got. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take another cup of milk. One more cup of milk. And I'm going to put in there. And then I'm going to, if I can find my spoon that I was using, Not the ladle, but the other thing. I don't know what I've done with it. Oh, there it is. I'm going to take that out just a minute. Lay that right there. And I just want you to see what I'm doing. Because I knew that would get fixed. Even with that extra cup of milk, I knew it would. So we needed a little bit runny. Not real runny, but we needed a little bit runny so it will soak through to the Oreos. Okay, I'm going to put about a half a cup more. So that's really going to be, let's see, 7.5 cups total. But now you start out with 6, guys, and then you can always add a little bit of milk to thin it down. You start out at 6.5 with 2 boxes of instant Jell-O chocolate. Another thing you could do if you wanted to do a vanilla or a French vanilla, you can use the golden Oreo cookies and make a golden Oreo lasagna dessert. That would be great. Do it the same way you do this. So now we've got it a little bit thin, so we're going to ladle this again. You just want to spread it out a little. Now, I don't know, somebody may have made this before, I don't know, but this is usually something I've come up with, and so if you want to make it, fine. If you don't, fine, that's fine, but I think you'll like it. I'm checking on my pies. I'm going to turn them back on for about 10 minutes. Because they're baking at 325. So now we've got the rest of this Cool Whip. We're doing another just dollop here and there. This just goes to show you how easy things are made. And they're so much better if you make them at home. Some people don't have time, but people at work or mothers with small children, it's hard. So I am going to go ahead and get that other container of Cool Whip out. Because I'd like to have a little bit thicker layer of Cool Whip in here than what I've got. Because I may do one more layer. I may crunch those cookies up, put on top. Okay, let me get this other Cool Whip. And you can get whatever brand's on sale. This just happened to be on sale and it's extra creamy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some more of that and put on here. Just making that second layer just a little bit thicker. I'm going to take these And I'm going to turn them just like that. This will be one whole pack. And then I've got an extra pack here, but I'm going to do some crumbles. Alright, so now we're going to take the rest of our, the chocolate chips. Yeah, don't want to forget the chocolate chips. That's what makes it good. And it gives a little bit of crunch too. If those Oreos get a little bit soggy, you're going to still have some crunch with the chocolate chips. Okay, we'll save those for top. And we're going to take the rest of our chocolate pudding. Spread that over these cookies and these chips. And this is called the Oreo, what I made up, just an Oreo cookie lasagna. And you want to use all that. And remember to keep it a little bit thin. Not real thin, not watery thin, but like pie thin. And then it will thicken when you put it in the refrigerator. Well, let's see if we can get that smoothed out here. And just take your time. Hope you guys are seeing this okay. This probably will weigh 10 pounds. So this would be a good dessert that you could do for Thanksgiving or Christmas that would go around a lot of people. Okay, so we got rid of that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rest of my Cool Whip. I'm trying to throw some of this in the trash, guys. Get me a better space here to work. Okay. And I'm trying to cook separate. We're trying to cook separate too. We've got a huge meatloaf in the refrigerator in the oven. So what I'm going to do is try to dollop this. So that's originally one whole thing of cookies, the Oreo cookies, and that is, I'll tell you it's a 1 pound. It says 1 pound, 2.12 ounces. So it's the big pack of Oreos. Just trying to get the rest of this Cool Whip out. I couldn't get it all out with that spoon. That big spoon I had. So I'm just trying now to smooth it up a little bit. And like I said, this will feed a lot of people. You could use the little mini chocolate chips too, the semi-sweet. I didn't have any more. I used them in my chocolate pecan pie. So you do with what you got to do with. And it all turns out good, and I always ask the Lord to bless it and to bless the ones that eat it. So you're going to see a little bit of that chocolate, but it's not going to hurt anything. I do always try to clean up around the edges. Okay. And then I'm going to open this, and I'm going to take just a few, and I'm just going to crumble up. See how this works. Just crumbling them with my fingers. So you're actually going to use just a little bit over a pack, or you could put less in each layer if you wanted to. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cookie and put it in each corner. This is just merely for the appeal of it. And then I'll always probably take, let's see if we can break that in half, and put it right in the middle. Almost looks like a heart there. So then I'm taking the rest of these chocolate chips. Doesn't that look good? If my friend Denise is watching, I bet you would love this. Alright. Got one cookie over here that didn't have a bottom, so let me go ahead and use that. So that's it. Wash my hands. And you want to put this in the refrigerator for at least maybe 30 minutes before you serve it. There we go. How's that look? Does that look delicious, you all? I told you it's delicious, you all. So there we go. And I'm going to take a couple pictures, okay? So I'll be right back. Hello folks, this is Sheila E. Just wanted to let you know that I did get that finished, and I've got me a big old bowl, and we had supper and I had to take a nap. And now I got my bowl of Oreo cookie lasagna. So, and then I have a chocolate pecan pie and a regular pecan pie, and that's about it for today. And I'll see you soon, okay? Thank you all for watching. May God bless you, keep you safe. I always give smiles and hugs. I always give God glory, praise, thanks, and honor and glory, for He is worthy, okay? This is Sheila E. Until we see each other again.